What's up, everybody? Welcome to After 9. My name's Dathan, and I'm with no one, but I think Shane's coming, so I'm excited for that because I feel like it's only like once a year me and Shane get to do this post show together, and we used to do it all the time. It used to be me and my buddy, you know. When I do it, it's me and a pastor. Not that that's anything wrong with that. I just like my buddy. But I might as well take care of the housekeeping now. If you haven't heard by now, I think we said it 3 or 4 times a service. But tomorrow night, 6:30 to 7:30, we have our Lighthouse prayer. It's an awesome time of really seeking that heart of God and that face of God and just praying. And we have lighthouses, which is communities of people getting together and praying in somebody's home. If you haven't gotten involved one yet, I highly suggest you do, because praying with people are so powerful. The word says where 2 or more are gathered, there he is also. And that's a powerful thing. But if you're not involved in Lighthouse and you pray from home, you stream on YouTube, you know, that's okay. Pray with your family. You know, invite somebody over, pray with them. And if it's just you all by yourself, know that we have a chat there. You can plug into our community. You can send prayer requests, and that we are there for you. Other than that, I'm just going to start talking. Today, Pastor Brian preached on grief. And before he started, I thought he was going to show, just because, you know, Pastor Brian's kind of cheeky, I thought he was going to show like a clip of Charlie Brown kicking a ball and like, good grief, Charlie Brown, but that didn't happen. There was no Charlie Brown today. But you know, we talked about a deep topic today, and that grief can be something hard to deal with. And I was thinking about something that happened to me recently, you know, and before I tell you the story, Pastor Brian said something that was pretty powerful. He said that these, you know, we talked about the 5 stages of grief a lot. He said they are descriptive, not prescriptive. It's not a prescription where you stay in it. It shouldn't be somewhere we want to live. It shouldn't be somewhere we want to stay. It can be hard to get out of, and it can be hard to deal with, but it's not where we're designed to stay, you know? Jesus is there with us. God's there with us, and he's going to take us through this grief process. And it's not to say if you're a Christian, if you have Jesus in your heart, you're not going to experience grief, because that's not a thing. You know, no, it doesn't tell us in the word that, you know, follow me and everything's hunky-dory. It's like, no, you got to lose your life to find it. You have to be last if you want to be first. You know, the word is full of these paradoxical things. And you made it just in time.
I made it just in time.
This is Shane. He might be a floating head today.
Yeah, am I a floating head? Woo! I wore green. I didn't realize I was going to be on the post show. Tech team, am I a floating head?
No, I heard you're not.
No?
It's
I was excited.
But Shane, I was just talking about grief, and I was about to share a story.
Yeah?
I feel like this is like...
I'm all ears.
I know.
Picture ears everywhere.
That's all I can picture. This guy's all ear.
I'm all ears.
But before I say any of this, let's rewind.
Wait,
What?
Okay, we reround to...
Welcome to After Nine.
Hey, whoa, okay.
I feel like I was saying, like, earlier, me and you get to do this, like, once a year.
Yeah, and it used to be, like, every week.
Me and you.
It was like the old days.
Me and you and some jabroni. But
now we're doing a flashback.
I feel like now, you got your G2, I got my G1. You're like, Mom, we're going to get ice cream. And they're like, okay, here's the keys. Not to like a Mercedes or anything, but here's a Nissan.
Right.
What are you driving?
A Sentra. Hey, it is affordable. It's good on gas. It's reliable.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. I've reached the age where that's all I care about.
Here's the keys to the Nissan, and if we end up scratching the car, it's your fault.
Oh, oof.
Not our fault.
Oh, okay, good.
No, I'm saying
it's on them.
It's Mom and Dad's fault.
Where were you going with this?
That grief is a heavy subject for me to talk about. Okay.
I get it. Analogy makes perfect sense.
Then I did
now.
housekeeping, then I talked about grief.
Okay.
Now we're here.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to share a story. Pastor Brian.
I'll put this down so I don't interrupt you.
Pastor Brian said something I thought was pretty powerful. He said the 5 stages of grief are descriptive, not prescriptive.
Oh.
So I was going to ask you, what's the wildest thing you've ever been prescribed? No, I'm kidding. But I wanted to share something that happened to me.
Diet and exercise.
The wildest thing I've ever been prescribed, or at least I think. So recently I had this really bad allergic reaction. I was going anaphylactic, got rushed to the hospital. They gave me adrenaline. That was wild. You
Yep.
ever had that?
No, but
It was
I
crazy.
want to just give me some adrenaline.
So
Just the natural stuff when I
So-
get like scared.
after waiting like, I don't know, like 15 hours to get seen by a doctor, God bless Canada's healthcare system, I get in there and the doctor prescribes me EpiPens, like adrenaline, right?
Yeah.
I was
Epinephrine.
like, epinephrine, exactly. So I was like, okay, so if I start to like swell up, he's like, no, even if you're getting a little bit itchy, he's like, bam, EpiPen. You don't feel good? Bam, EpiPen. You can't sleep? Bam, EpiPen.
Spiders crawling on you, you get a little tingle,
And
EpiPen.
I had to ask if he was joking. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, so realistically, how much can I use? Bam, EpiPen. Bam, EpiPen. So I go home.
This guy's funded by the EpiPen company. He gets a
Clearly,
cut. Yeah.
I go home. My whole body's like swollen. It's burning. Like some of the worst pain I've ever been in. And I'm thinking like, man, I just want to bam EpiPen. But like, there's like something on the inside being like, no, that sounds pretty intense, right? Because every time somebody uses EpiPen, they call the ambulance. They go to the hospital.
Oh.
I suffer through this. I go to my family doctor after, told him what the ER doctor said to me, and my doctor like dropped his like little clipboard. He's like, "Are you kidding me? Did you?" I was like, "No, I didn't use any. I was just I wanted to confirm with you because I'm not a smart guy. All I have is a truck."
You're smart. No,
I have
you
a
don't,
truck.
you
That's
don't have
my
a truck
talent.
anymore.
And I was like, couldn't I be like so nonchalant with these bam EpiPens? He's like, no, in no way should you ever treat an EpiPen like a lollipop
Or, in our case, ice cream.
or ice cream. So that long story, bringing it full circle, that's what me and Shane like to do. We like to do full circles.
Start over here.
And we end
and
up
then
right
way back where we started.
back where we started. And I've experienced, not a crazy amount of grief in my life, but enough grief. But if my prescription for grief if I treated grief as a prescription, not a description of something that I need to work out of, I just wonder what I would have used, and I know what I've used, to cope with grief in my life and how that didn't work.
You'd be bam EpiPenning every time for your grief, but instead of EpiPen, it would be something else.
Exactly.
Whoa, the analogy.
The analogy.
Look at you. You've
Mind
wow.
blown.
I
We
thought that
like
you were
make,
just
like,
taking us on a good
graphics where the
Sarah,
mind just
Pastor Sarah's gonna edit that in. There's gonna be
Like,
like graphics. She'll fix it in post. She's not
Every
gonna
time we
do
do a
that.
little
She's not gonna
explosion.
do that.
But instead of like, okay, I could have used this EpiPen for this moment of relief, but instead of just doing that pretty irresponsibly,
Yeah.
we decided to figure out what the root cause of this allergic reaction was.
And then you go through the 5 stages of EpiPen.
Yeah, exactly. So now, because thank God I haven't had another allergic reaction, but I thought the same thing with
Yeah,
grief
you were
as
not well when that happened.
No, I was
That
not well.
good.
Yeah.
Just like, when you're not well? When you're dealing with grief. That's my attempt to bring it full circle.
Oh, that's
not
your
as good
attempt
as
to bring it
yours.
full circle.
It's lackluster.
Yeah, but like as a Christian man, as someone who believes Jesus died for our sins, rose again, what's one thing you would say to somebody who might be going through a lot of grief right now? Whether it's loss of a loved one, job, pain.
Honestly, community. Like, I think that's one of the best things that you can do. So if you're not involved in a church or you're not actively involved in your church, you really should get there. And I know it's hard. You got to step out of your comfort zone and be around other people. But when we close ourselves off and we say, I'm just going to ignore this. And I think Pastor Brian had mentioned that, like, when he was talking about when people say, like, I'm okay. And it means I don't want to talk to you. I get it. Sometimes we want to say, I'm okay, because we don't want to burden other people with what's going on in our lives. But I think having that community there is the strongest tool we have, because I know if I'm going through something and I'm like dealing with it on my own, it's going to be very difficult. But if I can call up Nathan and go, hey, can we go grab some ice cream and, talk through some things?
Did you say ice cream?
Yeah, exactly.
Can we go grab an EpiPen?
We'll grab an EpiPen and an ice cream after the post show. But having that good community of not just Nathan, but Aiden and Pastor Sarah and Pastor Brian and Pastor Sherry and all those people around us who just pour into our lives, and we help each other out when we're going through things in life. And it's not about doing life by yourself and trying to figure out all the answers and presenting yourself in such a way for the people around you, but it's just being yourself and then working through that journey of life together. And I think grief is one of those things that we can work through together, and
Exactly.
that having those other people around us help us either not stay in those specific areas too long, or to navigate them with a little less hurt,
Yeah.
and to
yeah.
process those emotions.
Yeah, and I just want to echo chamber what you said about community, because I'm 30 years old, and
Just
it
a
took
baby.
me 29 and a half years to learn the power of community, and how you're not going to burden your community when you say, hey, I'm weak, I need help.
Yeah.
You know, that was something that I struggled through for that long, where I had this mentality of like, you know, I'll be there for others, and I always am, but don't ask me if I'm okay, just assume I'm okay. And then it was just like this slow, self-destructive ball rolling down this hill. And I realized, you know, a little bit too late that when I'm struggling with stuff, and I'm struggling with grief or with pain, I cannot be of use to others. I can, but not in a real way,
Yeah,
where I'm not being real with them.
I think it's not that you can't be of use, but it's like a knife that gets dulled.
Yeah.
So you can still cut, but there's going to be a little bit more force required to cut through. And you're still
Yeah.
there. You're still a knife. You just need to be sharpened again. And to bring it back to the Bible, iron sharpens iron.
There you go.
Look at that. Community. So we need it to sharpen one another so that we can cut through those tasks.
Dang, grief.
Whoa, grief.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
You're good at this.
Wow. So I learned from the master.
Who?
I don't know. I was going to say you, but
You know, when you say a word too much, then you lose the meaning.
happens all the time.
I say grief like 1,000 times so
say-
far, and
say
I don't
like
know
grief,
what it means.
grief, grief,
What's
grief,
your
grief,
favorite
it's
word
done.
that starts with G?
The only word in my head right now is grief now.
Does gigolo start with G? No? Maybe a J. I don't know.
I'm like, my brain, it works like this. I'm like, the only two G words I can think of right now are green, because,
The table is green.
well, yeah, we're in a studio. This isn't a green screen.
Oh, my bad.
And grief. So if there's another G word out there, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Groundhog.
So I got some words.
Groundhog just ran.
God is good all the time. You know when God's going to be
That's my
good?
favorite G word, God.
Tomorrow
Yeah.
as well at the Lighthouse Prayer. Make sure you tune in at 6 or 7:30. We're going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you for watching us. Mom and Dad, I don't think we scratched the car.
I don't think so. Oh, wait.
We
I just
spilled
got
ice
it.
cream,
Wait.
though.
Wait. Our mom and dad, Pastor Brian and Pastor Sherry?
Yeah, sure.
I just got the analogy. We're driving the Nissan Sentra while they're away.
Like to pass with you. See you tomorrow.
Bye.